Elana's death was partially witnessed by her daughters. On December 1st, a violent argument broke out between Mohammed and Elana, unlike any they had experienced before. Elana attempted to make a phone call during this altercation, likely to 911 for help. However, in her panic, she missed the first digit of the number by mere centimeters, dialing 611 instead. The autopsy report revealed that Elana had a broken neck and several broken ribs. The cause of her death was asphyxiation, and her hair had been cut off before her body was discarded. Who was Elana Fric? What happened to her? Who killed her? Who was the culprit? This is your partner in Crime Stories. Subscribe and let's move along this mysterious journey ahead. In Windsor, Toronto, there resided a Croatian immigrant couple named Joe and Anna Fric, both employed in the automobile industry at General Motors. Their first daughter, Carolina Fric, was born in 1970. After Carolina's birth, it was believed that Joe would not have any more children. However, in 1977, a miracle occurred. Joe gave birth to another child, once again a daughter, defying the earlier prediction. She was none other than the spokeswoman in this story, Elana Fric. Both of their daughters excelled in their studies, demonstrating remarkable intelligence. Elana, in particular, stood out with her exceptional skills in science and mathematics during her schooling years. Not only that, but she had one unique habit also. She would work in the cornfields just outside of the city of Windsor. Elana harbored ambitions of becoming a doctor. In the 10th grade, she found a compatible partner, and their happiness continued during their undergraduate years at the University of Windsor. However, upon Elana's graduation, she had to relocate to the University of Ottawa for further studies, while her boyfriend remained at their alma mater. Despite the physical distance, they tried to sustain their relationship virtually. Over time, however, cracks began to appear in their relationship. For the next couple of years, Elana remained single, allowing her to fully focus on her studies as she pursued her dream of becoming a medical doctor. However, everything changed one night in 2003. Elana was playing pool in the rec room of her hospital when she noticed a new face, Mohammed Shamji. He was a reserved and diligent individual with aspirations mirroring those of his father, a thoracic specialist doctor whom Mohammed greatly admired. Like his father, Mohammed dreamed of becoming a doctor, and this shared ambition drew Elana's attention to him. Despite Mohammed's initial awkwardness on their first date, Elana was captivated by him. He, however, seemed uncertain, even suggesting setting her up with a friend. He didn't know what to do with himself, and instead he asked her if he could set her up with his friend. Not stopping there, the two eventually started dating, but even from the very beginning, troubling signs were apparent. Elana was madly loving Mohammed. Elana's parents strongly opposed her relationship with Mohammed, feeling he wasn't the right match for her. Elana even attempted to break up with him twice, but Mohammed convinced her otherwise. However, their relationship took an unexpected turn when Elana found out she was pregnant during her second year of university. As a sign of commitment to Elana, Mohammed later married her, and their wedding took place in September 2004. They settled into their home and continued to excel in their respective jobs. In January 2005, they celebrated the arrival of their first daughter. However, the responsibilities of fatherhood began to shift Mohammed's perspective as he juggled work, study, and a busy schedule. He didn't even spare a glance for his wife or daughter, neglecting their needs and presence. Consequently, problems began to surface in their family life. Elana's parents observed Mohammed's aggressive behavior towards their daughter. He started verbally abusing Elana, creating a toxic environment within their home. By the summer of 2005, their relationship had deteriorated significantly. Mohammed attempted to shift the blame onto Elana to evade a responsibility for his actions. He even resorted to physical violence, punching Elana until her lips split. Despite his abusive behavior, Mohammed was pursuing a PhD at Duke University. However, he was aware that such actions could jeopardize his career if Elana decided to divorce him. Therefore, Mohammed pleaded with Elana not to pursue divorce proceedings, proposing certain agreements to pacify her. Eventually, the charges against Mohammed were dropped, and he was placed on a peace bond and subjected to 12 months of probation. With time, things began to calm down, and Mohammed successfully enrolled at Duke University. The family relocated to North Carolina, settling into a typical suburban lifestyle. They established routines, such as running in the mornings and participating in weekend marathons. Their daughter started attending daycare, allowing Elana and Mohammed to concentrate on their respective careers. Mohammed managed to complete his 5-year PhD program in just 3 years, showcasing his academic prowess. Meanwhile, Elana received a prestigious scholarship that covered most of her tuition fees, further cementing their success. After graduation, the family of 4 relocated to Ottawa, Canada. Elana swiftly found a job at Ottawa's Family Hospital, while Mohammed continued his training to become a neurosurgeon. Despite portraying happiness on social media, their real-life situation was quite the opposite, with tensions and tears. Mohammed's aggression resurfaced, especially during his fellowship at Calgary's Foothills Medical Center. This led to another year of enduring a long-distance relationship for the couple. One day when Mohammed visited home during a holiday, he left his email logged in on the family computer. Elana, curious, checked his emails and was devastated to discover that Mohammed was having another affair. Mohammed admitted to his infidelity, leaving Elana heartbroken and shattered. The family decided to move to Toronto, where they purchased a house valued at around $1.5 million. Upon settling in, Mohammed and Elana decided to expand their family further, welcoming their 3rd child in October 2005. Mohammed's dream of becoming a neurosurgeon came true, and he was gaining recognition for his exceptional skills. He was esteemed as a talented and prestigious doctor. Meanwhile, Elana was also advancing in her career. Despite their outward appearance of perfection, there were hidden issues in their relationship. Elana once had an injury to her hand caused by her husband, Mohammed. When asked by friends, she made excuses to cover up the real reason. Additionally, she had a bruised neck which she also tried to conceal. By the summer of 2016, the problems in their relationship had escalated. Elana discovered once again that Mohammed was cheating on her, prompting her to threaten divorce. Amidst this turmoil, Elana herself began an affair with another doctor at her hospital. This doctor was also married and had children of his own. Infidelity and assault tainted the love they once shared, consuming their relationship like a fire raging out of control. By late November 2016, Elana had reached her breaking point. Despite enduring years of heartache, sacrifice, and abuse, Mohammed showed no signs of changing. He remained the heartless, ruthless, aggressive man-child that friends and family had warned her about. On Friday the 25th, Elana attended a medical conference, networking alone without Mohammed by her side. Despite their crumbling relationship, Mohammed publicly congratulated her on Twitter. Upon returning home on Sunday evening, Elana served Mohammed with divorce papers. She enlisted legal help, demanding full financial disclosure from him. Mohammed's lack of cooperation raised suspicions among friends and family, especially when Elana suddenly disappeared without a trace. Now, nobody knows where she was. Her mother called and texted her, but there was no response from Elana's side. What happened to her? When they asked Mohammed about Elana, he claimed that she had left the house in the middle of the night with a suitcase in hand to be with a man she was having an affair with. However, Elana's parents didn't believe him. Something didn't feel right at that moment. Mohammed seemed highly suspicious, especially given his history of verbally and physically assaulting his wife. Had he done something to her? The next morning, a harrowing discovery was made. On the afternoon of December 2, 2016, a firefighter was walking his dog along the Humber River next to Nashville Road. It was a sunny day, but as he approached the British Foundation, he noticed something suspicious. It appeared to be a suitcase. He promptly alerted the local authorities. Upon their arrival, they commenced their investigation. Inside the suitcase was the lifeless body of a middle-aged woman, bearing signs of severe assault. The investigators didn't need to search much, as a name and address were visible on the suitcase. It was indeed Elana Fric. The body underwent further examination, and DNA testing confirmed its identity as Elana's. Meanwhile, Mohammed was nowhere to be found. Elana's parents strongly suspected Mohammed of their daughter's murder. Without hesitation, the police arrested Mohammed as the prime suspect in the case. Now, the question loomed: what had transpired? Elana's death was partially witnessed by her daughters. On December 1st, a violent argument broke out between Mohammed and Elana, unlike any they had experienced before. Elana attempted to make a phone call during this altercation, likely to 911 for help. However, in her panic, she missed the first digit of the number by mere centimeters, dialing 611 instead. During this time, Elana's daughters were peeking through the door. Mohammed was alone in the room, packing something into a suitcase. When he noticed his daughters watching, he instructed them to go to bed. He then left the house, taking the suitcase with him. The autopsy report revealed that Elana had a broken neck and several broken ribs. The cause of her death was asphyxiation, and her hair had been cut off before her body was discarded. This is what her husband had done to her. Finally, Mohammed pleaded guilty to the second-degree murder of Elana Fric. He was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after serving 14 years behind bars. This means he could potentially see freedom as early as the year 2030. What do you think about this case? Stay tuned, we'll catch you with a new nail-biting crime thriller tomorrow.